Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Low Budget Podcast. I'm Priscilla.
I'm Deanna.
This is our 25th time starting this today. We've had some technical difficulties figuring out our new setup, but I think it's all good now. Hopefully, you guys will be watching a video version of this episode on YouTube. We'll definitely keep you posted on the links and all that. But I can't go through the whole spiel that we've gone through again. So we're going to get into this episode pretty quickly. I think we were both happier with it, much happier with it than the first episode. Could you agree with that?
Yeah, let's just focus less on the Dixons. I'm over it. Let's move on.
Yes, I know. Robin was barely in it, and I think we all deserved that. We did. Okay. So it starts with Ashley meeting her mom, Sheila, in the garden center at Home Depot. So they're getting ready for sort of the climax of the episode, which is going to be Ashley's seaside housewarming party.
Seaside in the city.
Yeah. So Sheila says that she's working that weekend, but her Uncle Lump is going to go, and she's talking about the other invitees and mentions the new cast member that will be joining us, Nneka, or Nneka is, I think, how we're later told it's pronounced.
Nneka?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like a long...
Okay. I think. She says that they met through a friend, that Nneka's new to the area, she's a lawyer, and there's a flashback of Nneka saying that she had met Wendy briefly, through a cousin, and that she thought she was nice. So, it seemed like it was fine so far, right? Her and her mom are, talking a little bit about Michael, talking about the trip, and that they're really respectful to each other, and he really just, treats her like a friend.
She said it was the most respectful, Michael's ever been.
Yes. She said it's the most respectful they've ever been to each other.
I'm scared. I don't want to know.
I know.
How bad is it?
I can only imagine, how toxic their household was. I think it was probably really, really good for everyone, them living apart, even if they're not actually splitting up or whatever. I don't know. Okay. So this is the first time that we touch this season on the lawsuit between Candace and Michael, which I'm sure is going to be a huge point of contention, and one that will actually be really interesting. Basically, she claims that she doesn't know anything about Michael suing Candace, but then she also says that she knows that he is going to move forward with it, and that it really affected his business. And I put LOL in parentheses.
Yeah. Also, I'm kind of confused, because her mom's oh, well, you should invite her or whatever, and she was there's not enough sage in the world. And I'm confused. Is she mad at Candace?
Apparently, now she is.
Because, I knew Candace was mad at her, but I didn't know that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I know. I feel like my brain has, tired of, trying to keep up with exactly where Ashley and Candace are. I mean, I guess it's pretty easy to keep up with. It's they're on bad terms the vast majority of the time. I'm sure the reunion only made that worse, but yeah, I felt last season Ashley was at least kind of pretending to be someone on Candace's side, and even though she's supposedly divorcing Michael, to me it's still very obvious that she's taken a side on the situation. To say that he's lost business is it reminds me of Erica Jane with Tom, kind of dropping these little comments when somebody is going through a legal matter to defend them, you know?
Yeah.
With she's kind of trying to add weight to this idea that Candace's comments have actually affected his business. I'm pretty sure that I listened to, shout out to the Bravo docket. It's a great podcast about legal matters with Bravo, and I do think they talked a little bit about this once, and that with a claim like this, you would have to actually be able to prove that her words. So yes, so business, potential business clients or whatever of Michael's would have to come forward and say that because of what Candace said on the Real Housewives of Potomac about him sucking D, that they decided not to work with him, and they would be able to put tangible numbers on this. That is not going to happen.
Isn't he in real estate or something? Or
yeah.
I just would be surprised to know that anyone that is his clients are watching the show, enough people to make it
That's what I'm saying. It's the most ridiculous claim ever. Well, it actually made me think about that show that I told you about. There's a show on Netflix called escaping twin flames. It's really crazy. But it's like this cult, and one of the moms of the girls who was in this cult ended up talking to a reporter, and then the guy that she talked about, like the cult leader, sued her for defamation, like sued her for like $1 million, I guess. And she said when all was said and done, she ended up paying $30,000 in like
legal
fees, I guess. Yeah, which isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Like, you can say something about somebody, in her
like,
case, that was true, and she could still end up having to pay that much money.
I know, it seems like if someone sues you and it becomes, like, it's proven that it wasn't anything, then, like, you should have to pay their legal fees.
Right.
That seems like...
That seems only right. So, I don't know. So, like, when we're talking about Michael suing Candace for twice that amount... someone said that they noticed that it was the same amount as Ashley's house. Weird coincidence. To think that Candace can end up paying like tens of thousands of dollars because of that is actually insane. And yeah, I definitely don't think that there's any reality in which her and Ashley come back from this. And I don't want them to. The more I see of Ashley, I'm just like, this girl moves weird.
She does.
Like, really weird.
I know.
And
I always want to like her, but she's just like, I'm like, what are you doing?
She leaves you absolutely no choice, and it seems like she's seen all these comments about herself and just been like, I'm going to lean more into it. Like, I don't know, it's weird. In a weird way, she's like Giselle, but like, she's almost better at it. Like, at the very least, her innocent act kind of seems to be bought by more people. Like, we'll get into it later, but when she's talking with Wendy, it's like, she just really puts up this, like, I have nothing but good intentions type of thing. And a lot of people seem to buy that a lot more than they do. Like, Giselle doesn't even try to pretend that she has good intentions with a lot of the things that she does. Which I can respect. Yeah, she doesn't go hard for it. Yeah. Where, like, Ashley puts you in a position of, like, I'm going to make you call me a liar and a bad person to, like, point out what I'm doing is weird.
Right.
And I don't like that. So, yeah, that's where we're at on the lawsuit, but I think that that's going to be really interesting, and I think that, I don't know, it just sucks, like, you got this tiny glimmer of hope, I think, with Ashley, that you would actually hear her real opinion on matters for once she got divorced from Michael, but because that's obviously not happening, and it's like, they just have sort of a new arrangement now, where he's like, you know, still in control of her life. It seems like she just kind of got more out of it now. Like, she's like, if you're going to be in complete control of my life, I want my own house. And he agreed to that. But to sit her here and have her act like it's reasonable for Michael to sue her for saying something about, like, his sex life, while they all went after Chris all season saying all kinds of stuff that wasn't true.
Right.
Is just, I don't know. It's really sad to see. I feel like she could stay in good standing with Michael, although I don't know how strict he is with his rules. But it seems like there would be some reality in where she could be like, I think Michael's overreacting a little bit, and I've asked him not to take this route to handle it. But she just kind of like shrugs like, well, Candace did ruin his business. It's like, you're a bitch. Yeah. You're annoying, you're a bitch, you're wrong. And I just hope that this all blows up in her face.
They basically tried to insinuate last season that Chris was like
a sexual predator. Yes.
Like, okay.
Yes.
That's like.
And Candace is talking about some kind of consensual thing that Michael has done, and tons of people have said stuff about Michael.
Right.
But he's going to choose her to retaliate against. Like, okay. And it sucks. And Ashley, you didn't have, like, that's just so annoying to me, though. Her whole, like, I don't know anything about it except that he is going to go through with it, and Candace really ruined his business. It's like, okay, so you do know something about it, it sounds like, enough for you to have made up your mind about the situation.
Well, she's actually just learning everything about it online, just like the rest of us, so.
Oh, okay. But in online, she found out that it's really affected Michael's business.
Personally, yeah. Okay.
So, we have a Karen and Mia scene. You know, Karen's, like, very diplomatic. She's, like, the first lady, the true first lady of our country. No, kidding.
Kidding, but not. But
yeah, kidding, but not. But she, like, basically tells Mia that she's, like, in an acquaintance position now and that they can only shake hands.
Which I think is fair.
Totally fair. I think Karen is good at being able to like stay mad at someone but still being civil enough to be in a group with them. Like it's like we're on the same cast together, like I'm not going to turn you into like a Charisse where I'm taking it to that level, but like we're not like super tight anymore.
Yeah.
Which is completely fair. I mean, Karen pointed out that she really never did anything to Mia. So she never expected... What bothered her the most was that Mia was lying, and she just like really didn't expect her to like jump on the bandwagon with everyone and betray her. Because she's really been nothing but a friend. So then Mia says, what did I say? And she also says, well, I didn't make it up. Someone did say that. I just wrote stop with like a million P's. Like, did you come to apologize or not?
I know. It's like this. Like, decide what you're wanting to do. Is your intention to like defend what you did, or are you gonna be like, sorry, I shouldn't have said that? Like it. Like
that's such classic Mia though, to go into a conversation like this and just not have the simple idea down of like, am I apologizing or am I saying I didn't do anything wrong? Like,
especially with Karen, because I feel like Karen is pretty. She's fairly easy. Like, if you just apologize and don't do it again, at least not anytime recent, like, soon,
like, you
then
can't
it's gonna be fine. But, like,
you can't just genuinely say, like, I wish I hadn't said that and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, what did I say exactly? Like, Mia, what are you doing? I was just dying when she did that, where I'm like, this girl literally forgot her own intention. She said she wanted to call Karen and apologize and make things right. And then Karen throws you a pretty softball saying, like, yeah, didn't expect you to jump on the bandwagon like that. Well, what exactly did I even do? Like, okay.
It's like, do you think you just called her there for no reason? Like, obviously there was a reason that you guys... Whatever.
Yeah, so Karen, of course, makes it easy for her, pulls her back on track, and just says, it's pretty simple. Like, if you want to move forward, just don't be bringing up, like, rumors without proof. So I think Mia generally agrees. She asks how her and Gordon are doing, and she brings up Giselle saying that their situation sounded sort of embezzly at the reunion. And, of course, Mia says that in Giselle's defense, she maybe thought that, too. And it's like, does Giselle have something, like, serious on you? I just find it weird that, like, you can't ever... I mean, I guess Mia really, really operates in that world that they do a lot on this show of, like, depending on who said something is how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. Because if Wendy or Candace even, like, hinted at something, like, very serious, like, accusing someone in your family of embezzling your guys' income... I can't even imagine your reaction, but when Giselle does it, it's like, well, I agree with her. It's like weird how much you kiss her ass. It makes me really uncomfortable.
Even Karen was like, you did? Like,
I don't, yeah, like, I don't understand what kind of power you think this woman has, but she doesn't have it. Like, you don't need to do this.
I feel like even Karen was, like, kind of looking at her, like, even if you did think that, why are you saying that, like, on TV? That's so weird.
1,000,000%.
That's your husband, like, why are you saying that?
Mia's weird, like, 24/7,
that implicates
though.
you, too, though.
Yes.
You know, like, that was not a smart thing to say.
She's so far up Giselle's ass that you would literally rather potentially implicate yourselves in embezzlement than admit that she shouldn't have said that. It's weird.
It's so weird.
She also says that she's in such a good place, and she lies again that she's not drinking anymore. It's like a few seconds later says, well, except wine because it's sold in a grocery store, so that means it has nutrients. It's
Vodka
like
sold in a grocery store.
I know. I guess maybe it's different on the East Coast or something. Where we come from, you can buy vodka whenever you want. That is
true.
That's your right as an American.
I remember that in certain states.
Certain days you can't. I think
so
like
weird.
in Utah you can't buy it certain days. Sometimes you can't buy it certain
but
hours.
still that reason is stupid.
Where we come from, you can buy alcohol.
You can have it delivered to your house. You can have DoorDash. You can
I think that the only time it's a little bit iffy is between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m.
Those 4 hours are rough.
Those 4 hours are... How do we survive them? Yeah, so I don't even know why she brought that up. It's like, that's what she's just going to keep saying. Oh, okay, so I guess she brought it up so that she could talk about Miami, because she says that that's why she was acting that way, is because she wasn't supposed to drink on medication. I put in parentheses the Erica Jane defense. I'm sure you heard Erica from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last season, how she, like, cussed out Garcelle's son.
It's ringing a bell.
She didn't really cuss him out, but she was like, get the fuck out of here. She's just generally rude to
He's
like
like
this like 14-year-old. He's like a 14-year-old boy.
Okay.
And now she's saying like, yeah, I wasn't supposed to make medication with my legs spread. Like that's like everybody's little like defense. Like, okay, whatever. Karen basically said like she encouraged Mia to talk to Wendy about it. It's actually insane that they did not resolve the Miami fight at the reunion.
Yeah.
Like, Mia was just so obviously clearly in the wrong. And, like, if she wanted to use this defense, why didn't she use it then? It's like it took you a year to come up with I was mixing medication with alcohol, and that's why I did it.
I know.
Like, okay.
But also, it's a dumb excuse. Like, you're still responsible for the things that you do and say when you're drinking. It doesn't matter if you're drinking wine or hard alcohol or if you're sober. You're still responsible.
It's just really weird that it took her so long to come up with this, but there is no part of me that thinks that she'll be able to give Wendy any kind of normal or genuine apology. Like, also, that's where the Giselle thing comes in too, though. It's like, I don't know what the reason is, but if she will, like, ride this hard for Giselle, she's not ever allowed to apologize or anything like that to Wendy.
Yeah. Also, it's, like, weird, I lost my train of thought.
It'll come back. We'll talk really quickly about Candace just meeting with...
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, it was weird how Mia was talking about how she would, like, the last year was really hard for her because she was on the medication and, like, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, literally a couple of scenes ago, she was talking to Gordon about how it's been a really great year for her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can you just, like, decide what
No, she has no idea what she's thinking or saying, like, at any given moment.
At any time. And it can change at any time from one sentence to the next. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, she annoys me, but that element of her, just, like, the full-blown... just I have no clue what I'm doing as a human being in any given moment is pretty funny.
It's pretty funny when she admits it. When she doesn't admit it, it's annoying. I'm just like...
Yeah, she usually admits it
at some point, but sometimes she won't.
She can laugh at herself sometimes. Yeah, I guess it just depends on who it is, though. Like,
it depends on if she's drinking wine or vodka.
Yeah. Okay, so there's, like, kind of a quick scene where Candace meets with her manager. I think her desk was, like, a folding table.
A barbecue table.
Oh, okay. And she's talking about the second leg of her tour and if they're gonna have Drew Sidora from Real Housewives of Atlanta be a guest.
Okay, Drew is the one from... She was in White Chicks, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And I was just laughing because, okay, so the last episode they tried to do, like, a Stranger Things vibe. Then this episode seemed to be, like, White Chicks coded.
Oh,
because it was,
really?
like, they brought up Drew, and then Wendy's outfit in the final scene was definitely White Chicks.
Oh, was it? Wait, which part of White Chicks?
It was, like, when they're... I think one of them is wearing, like, a pink, like, skirt and, like, blazer outfit, and the other one's wearing, like, a jean blazer and skirt outfit, and that's exactly... Wendy's wearing the jean, like, skirt and blazer type outfit.
That is so funny.
I was like,
is this... looking out for any other, like, White Chicks, like, callbacks throughout the episode. Yeah, she basically said about Drew, she said, is there anyone else? Yeah, I get her. She doesn't need to do anything more musically with Drew. And she just said, like, she sold out Chicago, so she doesn't need Drew or anyone else of note. She did clarify on Twitter that she really didn't mean anything shady by this. She said,
but the way that she paused made it seem like something was...
It kind of did. I honestly was reading between the lines the whole time and sort of just took it to mean, like, I don't want to make this a whole Bravo thing. Oh, yeah, totally. Totally White Chicks holding their badges. Yeah, I kind of just felt like she wants to separate herself a little bit from the Bravo of it all, you know? Like, I don't want to be, like, a Real Housewives
Got it.
show.
Yeah, she wants to be, like...
That was kind of what I took it like.
All right.
Okay, let's get through Robin's fucking scene. She's, like, playing with her supplements, trying to fix her nutrients, and then she tells one, I know you don't care about women's business.
I put 5 red flags next to that. Like...
I forgot to clock her using the word female again last week. It's like, Robin, you need help.
And the fact that that's, like, a thing that you say between you two, it's like, you don't care about women's business? What the fuck is women's business?
Her thoughts and feelings.
And it's like, he's just like, he says that and she's like, just accepts that. Like, oh yeah, he doesn't like women's business. Like, you guys are so fucking weird.
That actually just reminded me of The Office. Like, when Pam is dating Roy, she's upset.
Yeah,
she's telling
like, it's nice that you guys get to hang out, because usually if she comes home, she'll be like, blah, 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 blah. Like,
and he was like, don't you want to talk to Roy about something? And she's like, I don't really like to bother with him with stuff like this. And he's like, your thoughts and feelings? She's like, yeah. It's like, that was literally that. Yeah, she knows he doesn't care about women's business, aka her. But I wanted to update you on what they're talking about.
It reminds me of, like, women's troubles, like... like getting your period or something weird, like a man acting like he can't hear about women's anything.
Oh yeah, totally. I want to do a quick shout out to Everybody's Business But Mine podcast that pointed out that whenever Robin talks to Juan about any of this stuff, she always frames it through either the public or the other
friends. Women. Yes, I wrote that too.
Okay. And it's like, she can never say, like, I feel this way about... Totally. No, totally. It's
That's like, exactly what I wrote.
Completely cannot admit it, but the only way that she can air her own grievances with Juan is to frame them through, other people think that I feel this way about this.
And it's so
other people are saying this, and it's, like, super...
It's so annoying, too, because you can tell, like, you can hear it in the tone of her voice, because she'll be like, yeah, like, Giselle and them think this. And she'll kind of, like, look at him and, like, give him the chance to, like, respond. And she's like, oh, yeah, I thought it was them, too. It's like,
it's the only way she can get answers to, like, her own questions without having...
try to get the, like, she's trying to, like, deflect from getting, like, the brunt force of, like, his, like, frustration, but it's like, and he's still annoyed at her.
But also, I think she sometimes wants to know, like, I'm wondering, like, why XYZ, but she is not willing to put herself out there in that way. So it's like, yeah, well, people are wondering why if this, then you would do this. It's like, Robin, like...
It's so weird.
It's pretty wild. So she, like, tells him about the, like, intervention, and she said that their thing was, like, why would you put yourself in that position again when this stuff is going on? And then he basically yells at her, I don't care.
I do not care. Like, dude.
So rude. Give you the flashback of no dogs on the lawn.
Keep your dog
our neighbor
off the lawn.
I'm not over it.
No, I just everything about Juan's vibe. His facial expressions, his demeanor, his little, like, I feel like he's always, like, twitching with, like, fury. He's always just, like, he can explode at any moment, and I feel like he's on camera, so he's, like, trying to play it cool, and thinks that he's being really nice, and, like, it's just crazy that this is him being a really nice guy. This is him being a really, like...
This is him putting the best version of himself forward.
I'm horrified to think of what he acts like normally, what he used to act like in the past, because apparently he thinks that was worse than he acts now somehow. Like, I don't know. He scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, me too. And Robin basically says, like, they want her to be mad, but she's not. Juan is encouraging her to be mad. And,
Go ahead, be mad at me. They're mad then. It's like...
Yeah, just ignore. Whatever. Don't care. So then she asks him if he's trying to get a job, basically. I mean, she didn't say that, but... That was what she was hinting at. It was like, oh, so have you been looking or whatever? He said there's a lot of time left, whatever that means. And then he does acknowledge that there's a lawsuit.
So he loves his guys.
Robin, oh God.
He loves his guys.
Oh, yes. Okay, so that was earlier. Then he repeatedly says, all I do is love my guys, and they love me back. I'm really okay. I know it will work out. I have everyone's best interest. I put everyone before me most of the time.
What a scary... Most of the time. What a scary-ass little, like, speech.
And then Robin puts in, yeah, I do too. And you could tell in that moment she's mad. She feels like she put you ahead of her.
She was talking when he was doing that. And just, he was fully talking over her, like, I love my guys and they love me. I love my guys and they... Like, just fully talking over her while she's trying to say something. And I'm like... It's scary to me that this is what he thinks is a nice person, because he's literally never appeared nice or caring or loving or happy or anything ever.
Robin has the audacity to say that not only did Juan do nothing wrong, he did everything right. Can we insert a clip here of Karen saying Robin is the dizziest bitch at this table? That's, now I get it. Like,
it's honestly...
This is like dizzy behavior.
It's embarrassing.
You're confused.
It's embarrassing, but then, like, sometimes I'll go down a really, like, deep dive of, like, just how scary Juan is, and then I'm like, I have to remind myself that, like, Robin is a victim.
She's trying to survive.
She's a victim. Something's going on. They're fucking weird. I don't know. And, like, I have to, like, remind myself of that to give her the tiniest bit of grace. Be like, okay, fine. Like, something, like,
maybe
something
she's trying
is
to live. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Something is off, but, like,
I really can't. I'm actually really excited for her boys to, I mean, if they want to, of course, to move out and just get out of the situation and to just see what happens. Because I saw a clip of, I mean, we're probably going to talk about it every episode, so buckle up. But the clip of Juan in season 2 in the walk-in closet talking about how he hates Robin and he's only there for their kids and he wants to have a life with happiness and, like, actual love and, like, actual partnership. And they asked him about it at the reunion, and he didn't really have a good answer. And someone pointed out he never went to another reunion after that. That was the last time that we ever saw him. And it's like, that was the real him. That was him being real.
I'm so scared for their boys. I hope that they have, like, other influences in their lives, because, like, in the little interactions that I've seen, they've been kind of funny, but, like, they all kind of, like, make fun of Robin. That's kind of, like, their like, thing. Totally. And it's like, I'm hoping that that's just joking.
How far does that go? I know.
Yeah,
like do any of them have any real compassion for her?
I know.
Sometimes our mics go super red. Does that mean I'm being too loud?
Yeah. It means a super hot mic. Hot mic moment.
Sorry. Okay. So now we get a first glimpse of the new girl. She's like carrying a very small dog. She's in front of a really glamorous house. Her and her husband, they're meeting with contractors.
She's so tall.
She is?
She looks very tall.
I didn't notice.
She's like way taller than the realtor. And I feel like later too at the
she's taller than Mia?
Like, I don't know if I saw them sitting next to each other because she was sitting down, but she just seems a lot taller than everybody.
Dang. Okay, I gotta look out for that.
Yeah.
Love a tall girl.
Me too.
Her first line is, "My name is NECA, and I am what I am, and what I am is remarkable." She's really modest, very shy.
Can we talk about... I don't know if I just didn't notice in the last episode, but, like, this episode noticed their, like, opening catchphrases, and they're pretty funny.
The taglines, yeah.
The taglines.
Yeah. All I can think of off the top of my head is Karen's, which was, "I don't ride the fence, you ride me."
I may not be an angel, but give me some grace, and you will adore me.
Oh, yeah. That one.
That's pretty funny.
That's pretty good. I'm glad she's got rid of her, like, shady, like
get rid of the shady thing.
Because I'm light-skinned, or whatever her tagline was last year.
I think that's what it was.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I think that's a direct quote. So, this house is 5 bedrooms, 5 bath. It's 6,000 square feet. She seems to be beating Monique's 4 homes with, like, 6 to 10 on that little map that they showed. I was laughing at
her being like, the mortgage company was, like, all weird to me about not listing all my properties. Like, that's, like, pretty normal stuff. If you have 10 properties, and you're, like, you definitely want to know that.
Oh, like, she wanted to not tell them about her other properties?
Like, she applied for the mortgage and didn't list any of the other properties that she owns.
Why?
I don't know. She was like, apparently the mortgage company is against generational wealth because they wanted me to list, like they were weird about me not, like, listing all the properties that I have.
It doesn't necessarily sound like they're against it, but it's...
But, like, if you have 10 mortgages, they need to know. Right.
But they want to know. That's, I mean, they're working against me, wanting all this information.
I don't know.
I think it is going to be interesting, because, of course, they've all, like, so far, the other women, like, have responded positively to her, but she just said the GW phrase, so it's, like...
GW?
Generational wealth.
Oh.
So it's like, is she going to get the same shit that they always give Candace for hers?
Oh.
Will be interesting. Only time will tell. I think her husband's name is Mike.
I think it's Ike.
I'm embarrassed.
It's like that. It's I can't think of what the full name is, but she calls him Ike, but it's like.
Oh, okay, but he had a different name that you're too uncultured to pronounce. I'm just kidding.
I mean, at least I didn't call him Mike.
I'm worse. That's worse for sure. That's on me. I think she said he was a doctor and a nightclub owner. Mm-hmm. He sounds busy. He had a great accent. He's really cute. And...
Ikenna? Ikenna?
That's funny. Their names are kind of, like, similar.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's his name.
That's fine.
But she calls him Ike.
Ike. Okay. And she said something about picking out rooms he picked out rooms for the twins, but I guess it was a joke because they don't have kids yet.
Yeah.
But they're trying very hard. Mm-hmm. But then, okay, later, does she not say that they just got married? Like,
a year ago.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty interesting to already be, like...
This far into
already be doing, like, fertility treatments and stuff like that, like, when it doesn't sound like they... I mean, I guess they could have been trying before they got married, but we'll see. All right. Moving right along, we'll go to a Wendy scene. I'm glad she's getting a scene now. It just meeting a producer, and then I put 3 question marks. It's like, what?
It's always a new business idea, new business venture.
Wendy's business hour.
Zen when, what is it? Wine with Wendy.
I'm into it. You know, everybody gets to have a little story, like a silly storyline. She's
Wendy's
very much
wisdom.
earned her place on the show. Like, you know, if she wants to spend her 10-minute segment pretending to start a talk show, that's her right.
It just makes me laugh because she, like, doesn't even know... Like, I feel like when Karen talks about, like, her business or something, it sounds like she more or less knows what she's talking about. When Wendy talks about her business, I feel like she doesn't ever... Like, Lady's like, oh, what's your budget? She's like,
I definitely think she's, like, setting herself up as some kind of a joke for this stuff. Like, I picture, like, a laugh track. I feel like she knows, like, when people are going to be, like, side-eyeing her, you know? And it's just kind of, like... I feel like she also knows it annoys the other ladies and maybe gets some joy out of that.
She just keeps copying all the stuff Karen.
She definitely doesn't seem to be unaware of whatever it is she's doing. I don't know what she's doing, but I think she does.
We're unaware of it, but she is aware of it.
But she's aware. So, you know, she's a multi-hyphenate with really big dreams as far as the network. She mentioned Bravo.
She basically mentioned all the networks.
HBO. She said
Netflix,
she'd be...
Hulu.
Can you imagine her talk show being on HBO? That'd be so funny. She's like the new Barbara Walters. It's like the 20 most interesting people with Wendy Osefo.
Also, can you talk about her confessional look? She kind of looks like...
Oh, the black one?
Yeah.
I like it. Do you not?
I don't not like it. It just kind of gives me, like, Batman vibes.
Yeah, it's definitely that.
Costumey.
It does look a little costumey, but I think she pulls it off.
She does pull it off.
She looks really cool.
I don't know if she looks cool, but she looks fine.
She looks fine. So we meet a little with Marcia. That's her producer. Wendy's known her since she was 19. She said she's produced many shows and some have appeared at Sundance. Maybe. I think. I'm like, I think Sundance only does...
Films?
I thought.
I don't know, though. I thought it's called Sundance Film Festival.
I thought so, too. Maybe. So, like, as little as I know about Sundance, doing talk shows feels...
Not.
Well, maybe she produced a movie. Maybe. I think. That's what I said. She asked what's a PA.
She's like, oh, I know one. What's PA?
And she says, I know you're always on me about budget, but I still don't have it. It's like, why'd you bring that up? And then she said, I still don't have it, but I could tell you right now that we're already over it.
And then her friend's like, whatever
but I can tell you right now, like, what we're looking at right now, we're over. Like, Wendy, what are you doing?
It's, like, never serious, and I don't know.
It's never, and that's what makes it so funny. Like, I'm thinking a bar, more of a kid's bar. Bookstore kids bar.
2 to 4.
From 2 to 4 p.m. Remember, I thought it was that. Still unclear.
Could be that.
They talk a little bit about names. She says, how about Zen Wen? And Marcia goes, is that what you really want it to be? Wendy's Window? No. How about Wine with Dr. Wendy? And they seem to land
Wendy's
on that.
Window?
Yes.
No, Wisdom.
Oh. That makes more sense. But still not the name of a talk show.
It's still weird.
Wendy's Wisdom.
Wendy's Wisdom.
Let's call it Zen Wen. Is that really what you would have called it? Like, you can't use that for everything.
And then it was like, wine with Wendy, and then I can have a glass of wine in my hand.
Yeah, okay. So then we have some of the cast meeting for a workout class. So this ends up being Karen, Ashley, Mia, and Giselle. This is when Ashley asks if the exercises are safe for her new boobs. So we're officially introduced to Demi and Diamond. She's very happy with the decision. I did note here that my husband Matt noticed them right away in the first episode.
I'm still like, I guess I should look at a comparison if I really want to know, but like, I don't feel like when I feel like when Wendy got hers, I was like, whoa, like she definitely got her boobs done. And then Ashley's, but that's probably a good thing. Just Ashley's are more like they're fitting for her body, you know? They're not like,
for
obviously,
sure.
like, I don't know.
And I don't think that they were like, I don't know. For some reason, I'm guessing that Wendy was maybe pretty modest.
That's true.
And she just had a baby before, too. Whereas even if Ashley's weren't big, she was like showing them before, you know? That's how I describe mine. Not big, but showing them. But I'm showing them, you know?
Not big, but present.
Yeah, so I feel like it's like not a huge change for her. It's just if you notice there's like a little more, it's like, they're high though. It's like,
also,
the curve of her boob's like up here.
I don't know if I talked about this already, but her confessional weird top thing is so ugly.
Oh, that pink thing?
It's like pink flowers, starfish things.
Yeah, I
It's
feel like
really
there's so
bad.
many things like that where it's like there's a hint of something there that I like, but
Is
it's just
there?
not executed right. I guess I like pink. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
There's nothing about that top that I like.
It looks kind of like I like country kind of glam sort of look. Was it that at all?
No.
No.
It honestly reminds me of, I can't think of which character it is in SpongeBob. Oh, it's probably Patrick Star. I think his pants have like little flowers on them. That's what it reminds me of.
Oh, when you said SpongeBob, I immediately went to Pearl.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, just some cartoony type of vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. It goes with the SpongeBob music. Okay, so.
Oh, okay, yeah, and then we're in the seaside. All right, it's on theme, I guess.
We're going somewhere
Fine.
with this. Okay, so Karen says that she's preparing for her triple 20s. And
we were waiting for that to hear how she was going to
I
pronounce.
know, like last season it was 5'9". Now we've got triple 20s. And she did compare it to her mom's triple bypass, which was a choice. Like, there was a choice to do that or to not do that. And she did it. So that was really cool. And then she's like, well, I'm in my triple 20s and my mom got a triple bypass. So, like, I got my test or whatever. It's like, huh, okay. So she basically said she's in great health and she caught like a 5% size of a deposit or buildup or something. And
everyone seemed very confused.
Yeah, it seems like she's doing good though, basically. And so there's like a quick Potomac aerobics segment. Mm-hmm. Did it say Potomac aerobics? I thought I glanced it on the screen.
I didn't see that, but I hope that it did.
I hope they did too. So they all talk about where Karen and Mia are, and then Giselle tells them about the war intervention again. And Giselle asks if Karen is going to apologize for the Georgetown girl rumor. And she basically says that she can give Robin some grace because she didn't have a picture. But she does think it's true. And she did concede that they owe each other apologies. Mm-hmm. So Ashley fills in Karen that she's not divorced. They live apart. Only her name is on the deed. Does that... No, you tell me. Does that mean anything?
So, okay, I actually looked this up because I was confused. So I was like, I know the at least with the lenders that I worked for, that was not a thing. You cannot be on the mortgage and not on the deed. Apparently that is a thing. You can do that, but it's really risky, and there's usually like extra qualifications you have to meet, because like if you're on the mortgage and not on the deed, then you have all the risk but none of the security. So if Ashley decides to sell the home or whatever, or like whatever happens to the home, he has no say in the actual home. He's only responsible for the debt of the mortgage.
That's interesting that he would agree to that. So
I don't even know if that's true.
So she's probably lying. She again says she doesn't know why Michael's suing Candace. Giselle says she doesn't even know who Candace is. And Ashley said that Candace said to never talk to her again, and so she didn't invite her to her housewarming party. But Karen says that she's out of town anyway, so it's fine. Ashley tells them about Nneka will be at the party, and there's a mention of Jason. Who cares? But Karen did say, though, I always inspire these girls, so Giselle had to do a 17-year difference, too, but she went backwards.
I'm always inspiring these girls.
That's so funny. Okay, cool. We're making great time for the line through. And we are setting up for Ashley's very formal housewarming party, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it was definitely not low budget. It was really cute. I would love to have been there.
It is. I do like the idea of a party that's kind of set up with like wedding table style.
Yeah, and like the tent outside, and there's like an actual bartender, and
I really need to try a lobster roll. Those looked so good.
I still can't believe you never had a lobster roll.
I know, I'm embarrassed. I really need to fix that.
Yeah.
So
Ashley's hair looks really cute, but her weird grandma dress is like, why?
Yeah, it would be. I'd really love to see her use a stylist for like a month and just like
or see how hang out with like Nneka more, because her outfit was really cute. Yeah,
she did look cute. Her and Wendy looked really cute. And then Karen and Charisse were like twinning. There was like some parallels going on. Ashley talks about the friends who were there for her during the difficult time of leaving Michael. And she talks about it during that chapter. It's like,
when she pretended to leave Michael.
Is that in the past? You haven't left him yet. So how can you be talking about it as a period of your life that you're no longer in?
I don't know.
Like, when I was leaving Michael, it's like, and I mean, I didn't actually leave, but when I was leaving, I told him to get out. Well, did he? No. I guess she's pulling one of those. So, Giselle asked her about, like, the hour rule, where he was supposed to give her an hour notice before coming over, but she said that it no longer applies because he has her children. It's like, was that not going to be the case previously?
I thought she said that, it does apply, but they don't need to worry about it because I thought Giselle was saying, like, can he just show up within the hour, like, to the event? And she was like, we don't need to worry about it because he has my kids. Like, he's busy with kids.
Oh,
that's what I thought.
Okay. That's what it meant. I honestly don't know why I wrote it because, like, I truly don't care. So, they're talking to her uncle a little bit, and she had, like, hid from him that Michael was on that vacation that she went on. And she's, like, says that he's, like, really old school, and it makes it hard for him to empathize with her situation. It's like, I don't know if that's about being old school or just having basic human decency, but, like...
Also, it's not even, like...
He's pretty cool about it.
I don't think the situation is that weird. It's just the situation with him specifically. Like, I don't think it should be, like, a hard no to have, like, two parents who are no longer together on vacation together.
Right.
But Michael is, like, not just any
He just
person.
knows that
He's,
your
like,
relationship is toxic and is going to side-eye it, but, like,
right.
That's pretty much the worst that's going to happen.
Right.
What's he going to do? So Karen arrives. She's, like, talking about how she's going to be drinking water because she's driving later. And Mia arrives in, like, all neon. To Ashley's face, she says, I feel like I'm at the beach. But in her confessional, she says, it's nice, but where's the water? You know, she loves, like, a behind-the-back shade.
She's, like, making fun of her when, like...
She doesn't have a home?
Yeah.
You don't have a home? Monique?
I guess... Oh, that's what I wrote. I said that she's, like, us, though.
What do you mean?
Like, I really like to make fun of, like, Ashley's house, even though I don't... Like, my home is definitely not as nice as Ashley's house, but I'm like, I still want to talk shit about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah. It's just safer.
Exactly. So, Charisse arrives, you know, Karen and her, like, wearing these pastel little, like, shorts, blazers sets.
But you have to note that Karen is wearing, like, a structured kind of, like, corset-ish top, and Charisse is wearing, like, a t-shirt
or something. Not a t-shirt.
Yeah.
No. So, Karen 100, Charisse 0. Ashley gives them a
Giselle
tour.
is like a watermelon.
Yes, her
She's
and
like
Robin.
a slice of watermelon.
Her and Robin wear these, like, hot pink, like, ugly.
But Giselle's bottom half was green, so it was literally a slice of watermelon. It, like, faded from a hot pink to green.
Preference is just crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty... Honestly, I want to know, like, where they even find these things.
Like, where are you finding these? Yeah. I mean, I picture that there's probably stores in town that just have...
Bright
clothes
pink
that would remind you you'd buy on vacation or something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. It seems like something you have to, like, seek out.
Like, when I was unexpectedly pushed into a disgusting swamp and then I have to go to, like, some little shop on, like, the edge of the beach
on the shore.
And just, like, buy a fluorescent pink flamingo cover-up thing.
Yeah.
Except that's all of her clothes.
And I feel like in the very least, like, if they love that color, fine. But in the very least, I feel like they would watch the show and see how bad... Like, that color does not read well on camera at all. It looks so weird. It's like, I don't know. It just
especially
looks really
when they're going to, like, a part, like, an event like this where you know you guys are all going to line up and take a picture together.
I know!
It's like,
oh my God,
why? Like, is that in your mind? You're like, oh, I'm standing out or something. Like, is that the logic behind these choices?
I don't know.
Totally unclear. I said Ashley was giving them a tour talking about, like, the inspo, like she's on HGTV or something. It's like, put a lot of neutral tones and blue tones because...
Also, I was laughing because, unless I missed it, I remember her showing that, like, her closet, like, she had, like, a walk-in closet, like, one of her rooms is, like, a closet type thing. But then her boys share a room, and I didn't see, like, a playroom or anything. And then she was later complaining about, like, the Play-Doh being on the couch. I'm like, you used a whole room for your clothes, though. It seemed like...
Oh, maybe. Is that what she did? I mean, okay,
that's from what I saw.
How many bedrooms is this house?
I don't know.
NECA's is
I feel like 3, maybe 4.
It has to be 4, right? Like, you don't sell a house that size with 3 bedrooms, do they?
Yeah, good. I honestly wasn't, like, fully watching the whole thing. I just remember I was kind of listening. I was taking my notes and I was listening, and then I looked up. I saw her show the room that had, like, all her clothes in it with, like, a couch, like, basically a big walk-in closet. And then she was like, and then the boys, like, stay in this room together, which is, like, fine, like, whatever. But, like, it was just funny that they don't have... She doesn't really seem to have a designated, like, kid area.
Yeah. That
was, like, kind of...
seems kind of strange.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she basically says it's a shout-out to the Bethany Beach house. We all remember that, season 1. And Wendy arrives as she's, like, doing this living room section of the tour. And, like, when she goes to hug Karen, Giselle, like, leans away. It's, like... If you guys aren't watching, I'm rolling my eyes. It's so funny because, like, I feel like Giselle probably doesn't even know anymore, like, what it is it's just, like, crazy to see somebody hang on to, like, petty dislike
and to, like, show how much it affects you. Like, you literally are, she, like, jumps out of the way as if Wendy's gonna, like, splash her throat or something. It's like, just calm down. You jumping away is way more embarrassing than you just ignoring her. If you, like, really can't acknowledge her, like, you guys are that, like, on bad terms, you can't even just, like, wave or whatever, fine. But, like, the weird, like, sidestep thing is, like...
It's annoying, because I really want to start fresh with everybody every season. But I feel like every season, Giselle doesn't allow me to when she won't start fresh with Wendy. And I'm not even saying that she has to be overly nice or anything, but just this, like, embarrassing, like, middle school maturity level, like...
disdain for her.
Yes, it's just... it embarrasses me. It, like, gives me secondhand embarrassment, and I don't want anything to do with, like... some woman in her 60s, like, refusing... triple 20s. Like, refusing to be cordial to their work colleague. Like, for no kind of deep reason. Like, you know that her and Candace will probably greet each other warmer than that, and they have, like...
actual beef.
Serious beef that has gone on between them. It's just ridiculous. But I'm proud of Wendy, kind of, for just being like, I've extended grace to these people so many times, like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her, though. Like, I can't imagine... Well, I can. I mean, I know what it's like to be at a space where, like, you're on weird terms with people and, like, you're not supposed to say hi to them. To be in, like, a vacation type setting or, like, these kind of, like, group settings with just these people all the time, it would just be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, at least she has Karen, though. It's obviously nice when Candace is also in the mix, but at least she has Karen who does, to an extent, kind of, like, call people out. Like, she'll kind of, like, because she has, quote, has Ashley on her side, but Ashley will not ever, like, stand up for Wendy in front of anybody.
No.
You know? So, like,
no, Wendy,
she's not actually real support.
Karen really gave up a potential spot in, like, the in crowd, I feel like. Like, she could be really firmly in with Giselle, Robin, Ashley, and Hanger On or Mia, I guess, if she wanted to. And I feel like she, like, chooses to, like, stand on her own more, which I really appreciate. Mm-hmm. I wrote at this point, I realized that this might be another long episode. So this was another, like...
It did go long.
Hour. It went 15 minutes longer. Same with the last one.
The last one was a long episode?
The pilot?
I didn't even realize. It felt short because I feel like nothing happened. But
yeah, that one also went like an hour and 15. So Wendy says at the time of civility is long gone. She's like, I'm only going to greet who I want to greet. And they're all really nice. They're like complimenting Ashley's house.
Giselle says it's beachwear.
Yeah, Giselle called it boho chic and then beachwear. Like that beachwear is kind of how I would describe your fashion too, like ugly beachwear.
Hers, yeah, is like gift shop.
Like it's not revealing in any way, but it's just like it's fluorescent, bright, flowing,
moo
patterned with like a grass leaf element of some kind. God, Deborah arrives. I was laughing.
Like, what?
I was laughing so hard at Wendy's reaction. She like walks around the living room. She's like looking at the windows. And she said, "I didn't know it was a kids' party, but in walks the entertainment."
But seriously, what is she doing there? And then like, they didn't even really.
She's not even with them.
Yeah, like she didn't like say anything really. She like came in and then just like went out.
That's classic Ashley though. Like, she can't admit that like she tried to use this girl to get at Candace, and so now she has to like pretend for the rest of her life that they're best friends. So there's like awkward hellos with Robin, and then our new girl, Nneka, arrives, and Ashley introduces I put them to everyone. Did her husband come too?
No.
Not
that I saw.
I don't think so either. I think it was just like a women's party, right? So
Women's business.
Women's business. And Wendy's asked by a producer in the confessional if her and Nneka have ever met, and Wendy says that she's just seen her in passing. Ashley tells them that they're both, I don't know how to pronounce it, do you?
Obu?
Igbo.
Ibu?
Igbo.
I don't know.
It's spelled IGBO. And
IGBO?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Igbo. And so she tells them they're both that, and they high five, and Wendy like teaches them how to properly say her name, and we all find out that she's a newlywed, right? So like it seems like really nice for this like 2 seconds. And then Ashley immediately pulls Wendy to cause a conflict between the two of them. And like the audacity was actually a little bit shocking to me.
It was weird because even the producers were like, "What?" And then she even admits that what she did was kind of weird. So I don't know.
It was nothing but weird. Like it was so bizarre, like to not let the natural progression of the conversation happen, and almost just felt like I just want to make sure that you guys don't have a good impression of each other.
Yeah. She's like, I need to get in there before they, like...
But to be that, like, shamelessly blatant about it was just... I don't know.
It's pretty weird. And then it was weird because... So she's basically saying that Ashley saw an article about Wendy's family being Osu.
Mm-hmm.
And that Osu was, like, really bad. And that she asked Nneka to like about it, and she just explained her what that was. She didn't say that Wendy's family was that. She just explained what that is and what they're talking about. And even Wendy says like, that's not, this is what it is. Our family's not that. Here's some examples of how we're not that, like whatever. And Ashley is even later being like, oh, like I kind of like maybe implied that she said something bad, like blah blah.
Shady as fuck. Okay, well, so let's just go over the sequence of events. Wendy's super nice to Ashley. She's like telling her how proud she is of her, that she's always made her that Ashley's always made her feel like she matters, but that sometimes she has questions. She says everything that transpired with Deborah was really weird, and I want to feel like you're my girl, not that you're going to stab me in the back when the opportunity presents itself. So of course Ashley gets that weird guilty face because you probably already discussed with Giselle that this is what you're going to do. Wendy is directly calling you out for it and saying, look, I like you, but there's this kind of block here where I just feel like you're going to blindside me with some bullshit. And Ashley's like, well, actually, I'm about to, so, like, are you going to let me? And so then, of course, Ashley says that she respects that, and she says, well, number one is you might not trust me because we haven't spent that much time together. So she's actually trying to turn this around, like, well, you don't really try to hang out with me. And Wendy's like, well, I invited you to my daughter's birthday party. And she's like, okay, oh, yeah, well, yeah, you're right about that. You're right. So maybe that's where the invites stopped. And it's like, because I couldn't make it to that. And it's like, Ashley's just so fake. It makes me really...
It's pretty icky.
It's really icky. Like, I feel like I used to see her as somebody who might actually be fun to hang out with, and now I just see her as, like, a total snake. Like, the way that, like, you're looking at this woman, Wendy, who's being completely sincere and, like, thinks that, like, you might be, like, an ally to her in this group of people who hate her, and that you're willing to, like, basically exploit that to get some, because here's the other thing that of course people are pointing out, where it's like, so there's this whole conversation about colorism last year, all these light skins going after Wendy and Candace, so what do? You find a dark-skinned Nigerian woman and you basically try to pit her against Wendy instead of you.
I didn't even think about that.
Like, what's wrong with you? Exactly.
As if that's how, like, colorism works anyways.
But of course that's what that was Ashley's whole speech. Remember when she freaked out and got on Instagram Live and was like, every single one of us has been mean to each other. So, explain. I've had problems with every single person on the cast. Explain that. It's like,
explain that.
You're committed to misunderstanding.
I know, it's like, that's what is tough, because I feel like on the spectrum of, like, real friends to, like, whatever, I feel like Candace and Wendy are on, like, the, you know, closer to the real side. Like, they're gonna, like, stand up for you. Like, even if you're not around, like, they'll be like, that's not cool, you know?
Yeah.
Karen's kind of on that side, but more towards, like, the middle.
More neutral.
And then everyone else is, like, kind of, like, on that. Like, they'll throw you under the bus, like, kind of at any point. And so it's sad, because, like, we saw Candace doing this thing with Ashley. She was like, I'm gonna give you this chance. And then she did what she did last season.
Mm-hmm.
And then now Wendy's like, all right, like, I like you, I'm gonna give you this chance. And then she, like, immediately, I'm just like,
and
Ashley.
I do hope that Wendy sees it after this. Like, I think we've all been guilty of giving Ashley too much grace.
Honestly, the pause that she took, I felt like was more a pause towards Ashley saying that than towards what she said or was trying to imply that Nneka said.
That, like, what I'm really hoping is that, like, they haven't shown too much between Wendy and Nneka. Like, there's that one argument, it looks like. But I'm really hoping that they're able to, like, be smart and see that Ashley is... Because that's the thing, is Ashley is the one who got her to say it in the first place, too. She didn't bring it up. Ashley brought it up to her. I was reading this article or something, and it said, like, Wendy was, like, Osu or something. She completely instigated the entire thing.
And Nneka didn't even say that she thought that.
No.
She just said... explained what it was.
She explained what it was, and you were the one who brought it up. So you wanted her to say something about it so that you could go to Wendy and say it. Like,
I know.
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah, it's pretty weird and dark. The only thing that
And I don't even think that lady's, like, actually her friend. She probably barely knows her.
I know. The only thing that I am concerned about with Wendy and Nneka is that, like, you know how Wendy just really likes to talk about all her, like, accomplishments, and it seems like Nneka does too. So I hope that they don't...
They're going to start arguing about that?
Yeah, because, like, if they try to, like, one-up each other, it's just not going to be great. And I hope that they can get past these weird little, like, side conversation rumor things and be on the same team. That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically what happens is Ashley says that she thinks Wendy's apprehensive about being vulnerable in the group. Like, yeah, no shit, because you act monstrous constantly. And she keeps trying. And she says, well, like, do you still want me to tell you stuff? And it's like, I just got so annoyed where it's like, so basically by her saying, can you not be a horrible friend to me? It's like, well, am I not allowed to be honest with you anymore? Like, okay, Ashley. So she's like, because I was talking about you to Nneka, and she asked if you were a medical doctor. And then Ashley basically says that she thought her saying that Wendy was a doctor of philosophy was shady. It's like, you're reaching there, and Wendy didn't react, so then you had to keep going.
But also when they're showing Ashley talking about it, Ashley is presenting it like it's something to laugh about. Like, she's like, and she's a doctor.
Yes.
And then she's like, you know, like, you're setting it up to be like, let's talk shit about Wendy.
I want Candace and Wendy to, like, just come for Ashley at the reunion. She needs it. She needs to be put in her place. Like, I'm sorry. I'm so sick of, like, her thinking that, I don't know. There's just something about it that really bothers me. It really is, like, that white woman side of her, I have to say, audacity to sort of just be like, I know I'm being filmed, but I'm still going to spin all these things that I'm doing, like I'm doing them out of concern, or I'm just doing these innocent things, and then people are saying these unexpected... Everything that you do is completely calculated. You're being extremely manipulative. You went into this conversation... So really, it's not only wrong to Wendy, but to Nneka, that immediately starting the show, you're trying to trick her into having beef with somebody that you're pretending is your friend. Right. What reason would there be for that if supposedly both of these people are your friend?
Right.
You're shady as hell. So then she says that they talked about the whole Osu thing and that she was cursed and that she was shunned. And I said that Nneka seems to just be explaining the history, and she said that it's been abolished, like people still remember. And so a producer asked Ashley in a confessional, and they say, it sounds like you were saying she was talking trash. And then Ashley laughed and said, yeah, that's kind of how I remember it. But the laugh didn't make it seem. And then she says that she blames tequila. I'm not sure if she's blaming tequila of her original conversation with NECA or in the relaying it to Wendy.
It sounded like in the relaying it to Wendy.
So, like, you were so drunk at your own housewarming party that you pulled someone away from, like, a group to go and tell them this.
But also they show a clip of her talking about it another time, too, so.
Because even that, like, even if you don't like Wendy, to your new friend, that's super weird to, like, the second she gets there, pull one of the other guests and let them know that you were talking a bunch of shit about them. Which she prompted you to do, like, if anything, you know?
Also, I feel like it's, like, extra gross, like, her coming after Wendy specifically, because Wendy's already, like, the odd man out, especially in this specific group that's here right now, and, like, you're just trying to, like, still other her as much as you possibly can, like, at any opportunity, like, well, she's still just, like, the odd man out. It's like, why does that make you feel good? Go after somebody else. Go after Karen. Just
like, Wendy... Please do not fall for this, right? But I'm worried she is, because she said that she would expect more from a fellow Nigerian.
Okay, wait. Wasn't there a clip, though, of Ashley was she talking to Karen about it?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
There was a clip, I think, for the next episode or late in the season or something.
Oh, okay.
I thought that Ashley maybe was talking to Karen. So I'm hoping that this gets to Karen so that Karen can, like, do her, like...
Karen will triple 60. Karen will triple 60 our way out of this.
Yeah, and then she'll be able to explain to Wendy, like, that's not how I was... Like, I think it was like this. You know, so maybe she'll be able to clear it up
like,
a
what
bit.
I would have wanted to hear... Because Wendy basically explained, she's like, well, remember that party for my kids? And, like, all those people were there. She's like, if we were shunned, like, nobody would have been there. So, like... No, like, yeah, I know what that is, but, like, that's not us. I wish in the confessional she had said something about Ashley. Like, I think it's, like, just something about, like, I think it's weird that Ashley is trying to turn me against the new girl, like,
but Wendy's
literally
dumb,
within minutes of her showing up.
I know. She's not dumb, though, so I feel like as long as nothing really crazy happened with NECA before Wendy has a chance to, like, really think about it, then hopefully it's fine. I don't know. Then it's, like, her clips talking about, like, her family doing voodoo or something.
Because I feel like this is what people like Ashley and Giselle do, right? Where you stir up this thing, you talk to person A, you prompt them to say something about person B. Then you go to person B and you tell them what person A said.
Right.
So that person B now says something about person A that you can take. And now they have a real thing, right? Like, now they've actually both said things about each other, but it was prompted. It's just, like, such a weird thing to look out for, because, like, why would actual normal, not cartoon villains ever do something like this? But, like, they actually do on this show, and it's really weird.
It is really weird. And I feel like now that Giselle's thing is, like, being focused on Jason or whatever, then, like, Ashley has to take over more of the, like, drama-inducing stuff.
Well, totally. Well, and that's... Giselle does that, too, to herself when she gets in such bad fights with everybody that she can't even talk to them. You know what I mean? She wouldn't even be able to tell Wendy or Candace what somebody said because they don't speak.
That's true.
It's a lot. Yeah, and honestly, Ashley is kind of the only one who remains, like, a bridge between the two groups, so it's going to be really hard for her to, like, throw as much stuff and hide her hands, and I just kind of hope that this is the season where Ashley gets called out for...
anything.
For the weird way she moves, because I am sick of it.
Sick.
But that's the end of the episode, you guys. That was actually a really good one. I enjoyed it. I'm also relieved. I was a little worried there with the pilot, where I'm like...
I have to remember, too, though, that, like, it takes a minute. Like, there has to be multiple of, like, the group gatherings to, like, build some...
You gotta ease into the season, for sure.
Because once we're doing just, like, the individual, like, oh, at their own house, like, that's not interesting. Like, it's always kind of boring. It's
yes.
Just, like, they're, like... But it's just, like, catching us up, I guess, from last season.
No, we need these parties, and we need Mama Karen to intervene, because, like, it's fine because Candace was out of town, but, like, I don't really give a fuck about your guys' beef. You all need to be invited to...
Yeah.
The group events. Mm-hmm. Like... Giselle,
I'm really praying for, like, a turning point in Giselle this season.
That would be really great, because I feel like cool. Ashley's really priming herself to take Giselle's spot. So, like, Giselle, you don't have...
She doesn't have to be doing
to do this.
She doesn't have to be Giselling so hard. She could, like,
I feel like she like doesn't want to seem flip-floppy or something. Like I feel like she's just kind of like, I have to stick to my guns with this whole Wendy thing. But like you can use your whole fake love story as a reason, right? Like I'm in love now. I'm not mad.
Right.
And just use that as an excuse. I don't care.
I know. I feel like it would be really simple too for her to just have like any kind of apology and just stop talking about those things. Like apologize to Candace for how it came off with Chris and just stop talking about it. Then like move on. And hopefully, I don't think they'll ever be friends, but hopefully they can just be like, because they're like funny when they're all together. It's like funny having their banter, but it's like when Giselle has to put a stop to everything because she has beef with someone and like has to like dive out of the way if they come in the room. Like that's not funny. It's just annoying.
Yeah, totally. Let's shake up some dynamics this season, you guys. It's season 8. We got to keep things fresh. We got to get these new viewers in. You know what to do. We'll talk to Karen. Until then, we will talk to you guys next week for episode 3. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.